Sci-Fi.
Hello and welcome to We Are Not Here to Please You. I think it's episode 21 when I'm not wrong. Well, anyway, it's me, Rafael Novak, but this time with me is not Arthur because that guy is sick as a dog. So, but for him, sitting in is our good friend from the No BS podcast. I can't English anymore. That starts good. Okay, say hello, Nolan.
Howdy. This is Nolan Overton from the No BS Podcast over at nobspodcast.com as a blunt plug for my show. Not that I'm trying to steal your listeners or anything, but...
Yeah, we barely started and you already just plugged yours. How selfish. Sure.
Well, I've got to manhandle this somehow.
Yeah, I know. No, it's fine. I mean, we're in the end anyway, private podcast, so that's just a free given, so...
Actually, I am honored that you asked me to join you since your co-host could not this evening or morning or however it is with the time change. I think we're on an 8-hour time change with the American time change now. So, but I am honored you asked me to join you as your co-host. So,
I'm honored that you said yes, and especially on such a short notice because we were supposed to record yesterday and, well, Arthur was just sick as a dog. And I just literally, 24 hours around, I told you, could you sit in, please? Well, you found the time. That's great.
You know, and which is funny because you were asking me if I could call in because yesterday was supposed to be your live call-in show. And I said, Yep, you bet. I can call in for 5-10 minutes, and now we're doing this for a full hour. So you got your wish.
Yeah, even more. And, I fucked so up with our call-in thing. I meant to write AM because, well, we record in the PM, but like you said, it's like 8, okay, depending where you're in the States, 8 to 9, 10 hours time difference. And I wrote them AM, not PM and not AM, so nobody called.
Well, yesterday morning I was out walking in, it'd be 20 degrees Fahrenheit, but so I don't know the Celsius equivalent, out walking collecting food cans for the Boy Scouts. So it would have been a short call anyway yesterday morning for you.
Well, we would have been happy about it. It would have been fun. Then, we counted that we gone after at least one call. Yeah, because I went over to Arthur's place to pick the mic up because we don't have a proper mixing board set up here. So it would have been just, speaker into microphone kind of thingy with this call in. And man, that dude looked not good. Seriously, it was kind of like I picked the mic up and I was like, okay, don't touch me. You look infectious.
Oh, that's not good. We're,
well, but we're wishing him that he's getting soon well, so.
Is it just a flu or is it like a pneumonia or does he have like some type of infectious zombie disease we need to be worried about?
Well, it looked kind of like outbreakish, I'm not sure, but I guess it's just some flu thing, but, well, it looked kind of undead when you ask me. Okay.
I mean, should we be, digging a trench around his house and filling it full of kerosene to set it aflame?
We could do that for the entertainment.
or just like a round of antibiotics help that out.
Yeah, I guess that should do the trick. So, but he was also glad that you could sit in because we kind of were saying, maybe we can record today if you feel better, but it was so clear from yesterday that this will not work out.
Right, and I do a better job filling in for him if I could get the accent right, but there's no way I'm going to get the accent right, so I won't even try to make his accent.
Nah, make it your own.
No, my North Dakota, the United States North Dakota accent, I think will be enough for most of the United States and Finland, and wherever else you broadcast out to.
Yeah, apparently we reached 7 Canadians.
7 of them? Well,
yeah, in the last week. So we love us some Canadians here, eh?
Exactly. Well, I'm right. A lot of the United States thinks North Dakota is in Canada, so that's kind of close enough. You sure it's just not another North Dakotan?
The SoundCloud gave me really just not statistics from which countries.
Okay, well, we welcome you, Canadian brethren, to the We Are Not Here to Please You podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are welcome, and how can you not love such polite people?
Exactly. Even during war, it's like, hey, we're going to shoot you now, okay? Eh? And then they shoot you.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to shoot you, Talking about Canadians, I have to slip that one in. There came, I think, last year, just a remake of Tomb Raider out, where they kind of, retell the story, how she became Lara Croft, how she is known. And this game is made by Square Enix, and I'm not sure, but I think they might be Canadian. Because as soon as you finish the game, there's literally a line standing. Okay, I quote, basically, thank you for taking the time to complete our game. Seriously? They have to be Canadian.
They're the only ones polite enough.
Yeah, I mean, not that the credits right away started. It was like, thank you for taking the time to complete this game, We're really grateful. And I'm sorry if there were parts that were boring.
If anything offended you, please notify us. Via horse. No, but I was going to say, in all seriousness, though, I live literally probably 2.5 hour drive from the Canadian border. So I've spent a few summers heading up there for vacation, and I have to admit they are very, very nice people. If there's any country I'd run off to first, it would be America Light. I mean Canada. Yeah. So.
Well, I always had the dream of kind of, moving to Canada when I was kind of a teenager and shit. And, well, I ended up in Finland, close enough. So basically the Canada of Europe, so from temperatures and shit. So technically, yeah. Huh?
Very nice, very nice. Okay, well, now that we've given some international love, what do you got on the plate for us today?
Well, first of all, I think I said I sent you the link over that I got to call into this morning show from the Smodcast network, the network from Kevin Smith. And I was nervous as a fucking dog calling in. I don't know why. I think it was more about because I like this two dudes so much, because I listened to them since I don't know when. And apparently they were kind of awaiting my call. In that, at least they took the dude on hold for me that was already on air, what I didn't even know, because in the stream it's like a 7 to 10 seconds delay from when they are recording. So when I called in and they picked up, I didn't even hear that they already picked up a call. But I guess I was more important.
Well, you know what it is. It's the same thing Brandon and I say from our podcast. It's all about your accent. People
and that it was...
Here, love accents.
Yeah, and also like for them, it was like the first call from Finland that they gotten. So I think that was also a nice little side part of it. So that was pretty sweet. And I was really nervous, kind of like, oh my God, how do I bring up my podcast as well? I mean, first of all, I wanted to talk to them, but as well, I wanted to plug my podcast as well, because they have just way bigger numbers as we could ever dream of.
Well, wait. I mean, and you got what, 7 new Canadian listeners? So your podcast is gaining. I want to say our podcast, but in reality, it's your podcast. Even though I'm pretending to be R2, it's not going out real well. I think I'm a little bit older than he is, so my geriatric voice kind of gives it away that I'm not R2, other than my accent. But the thing is, I did listen to your part, and you did exceptionally well with your call-in and your delivery. I think you have a future as being a talk show guest. Just saying. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, and by that time, I hope so, and by that time that I'm also not anymore like that nervous. But of course, it was my first time that I did it in that kind of sizable, show, and I really literally just forgot a certain thing that they asked me what that means in Finnish, so I couldn't just, for the love of God, it just didn't came to me. And it sounded in my head way worse while I was calling, yeah, as when I later then, when they put it up as a podcast, listened back. I actually laughed and noticed that they had fun, that I had fun, and that I didn't sound it so much as a full retard as I thought I was.
I think you did very well. You know, when you put the show notes together for this website or for this episode, I think you should link to their episode as well, at least with the time markers of where your interview was at. Use it as some content for your show here.
Absolutely. I mean, I already on their SoundCloud where they host, used it as media host. I had put it a marker right there with also our, web address and so on, and our SoundCloud account as well. But definitely going to have to include that in the show notes. And I really enjoyed listening to it because it was somehow really entertaining because I could see like how much damn fun they had. That I think was the big part of it.
You know, and it wasn't that they were making fun of you. They were really happy you called in, which makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and how they were going on, like also about how about they lost our name just, from the podcast and the artwork. That was just amazing because that was my worry. How do I bring that up? But no, they kept pushing towards that.
Exactly. Now you have to get a "We Are Not Here to Please You" coffee mug put together and sent over to them, just so they always remember you and constantly talk about you on the air. So,
well, they're gonna have to because I'm gonna keep harassing them. As long as they do the morning show, I'm gonna keep calling in and harassing them. Basically.
There you go. So I have a question for you based on that interview you did, though.
Yeah.
Okay. When you first brought it up here a little bit ago, you said you were as nervous as a fucking duck. Just how nervous is that? And how have you scaled or quantified how nervous that actually is? What tests have you run? Have you witnessed it quite frequently?
Well, I've seen it on many occasions, but I would scale it tiny bit less nervous as a shaved hamster, but not as much as, I don't know. I can't come up with the example, no.
Okay, on a scale from an elephant to platypus, where else do you think that might fall into the range of like semi-mammal? Would you still go with a little bit around the hamster stage, or would you might go around maybe like the chinchilla stage?
I think the shaved hamster wins.
Shaved hamster? Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I just wanted to make it clear for your listeners just where that fell into the mammal stage. So, all right, thank you. I appreciate that.
We should actually make some scale, nervous scale relating to that kind of topic. Really make a proper chart for that, actually.
Okay. Maybe, and just with the way things work here, we could probably put it in a grant to the government and probably get money to go out and research that. And actually be able to make some quantitative analysis and other big words that I'm trying to come up with to make it sound important right now. So.
Yeah, then just, before we started really to shoot to the government, then we're going to, look, internet important words. Google that, and then we just, throw them all in there, and then it's going to sell from alone.
Well, exactly. It's the how many big words you can use in a research paper type analysis.
Yeah, definitely. That always sells. If somebody doesn't understand it, they always think it's super smart, so basically.
Exactly. I only understood a third of this. This must be true.
Yeah, I can't understand that. You must be a genius.
Exactly.
I thought that's all. They think you're absolutely fucking retard. Oh, wait, right, that's not politically correct in America. Can't anymore say retard.
Nothing being politically correct is no longer politically correct in America. So
that's a good point too. Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Technically, you can still call them foam face. Nobody yet complained about that. Technically, that would be a new phrase. Well, by the way, when did it happen that Oriental is not anymore politically correct? Apparently,
it isn't.
Yeah, I hear this on many occasions. That apparently calling somebody Oriental is politically incorrect.
It doesn't surprise me. I've never heard any exact stats. But, like I said, I think anything that can be spoken offends somebody else, no matter how much you didn't want to offend them or how nice you tried to make it seem. You could call them by their DNA markers, and they'd be offended because you may have mispronounced the letter of their DNA marker.
Absolutely, and you can bet your ass off that it's a bored housewife or a bored houseman.
Oh, exactly. Somebody who wants attention has to be the one being offended by it, or if they think they can get money out of it. If someone just wants to be offended for the sake of being offended, they're bored. If they're offended for the sake of wanting to sue you, they're broke. And that's how that basically pans out.
Or they just don't want to deal with their shitty kids and talk to them and just want to make sure that nothing out there is going to impact the kids where they would have to talk to their shitty kids.
Exactly. I want to be more right than you so I don't have to go home and be right with them.
Yeah.
You've got a good point. That's pretty much, I think, how it pans out. Kind of like with Phelps, whatever his name is, his self-righteous...
Phelps, that now just kicked the bucket.
Yeah, and his son is speaking out about him, or has spoke out against him for quite some time. But, I'm pretty excited that he's dead.
I was only wondering if anybody's going to picket his funeral.
I think other than the fact that they don't want to lower themselves to that, they probably would.
Yeah. But in the end, I'm actually more sad for the whole family, to be honest, because it's kind of pretty pathetic and stuff. So
yeah, I mean, his son is actually living in Canada now, and tries to speak out against what they did. But I think so many people just want to forget about it. They won't even bother picketing because they just don't want to deal with the thought anymore. And that's really the way it should be. I mean, the more you say against it, the more you're actually just fueling the problem. You're better off just ignoring it, pretending it's not there, because the less attention they get, the less motivation they have, because even negative attention still fuels their message in the media. So no attention is best.
Yeah, a funny thing was when Kevin Smith has his movie Red State. I don't know, have you seen it?
Which one is that?
Red State. That was coming out 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Michael Parks. Watch it. Great movie. Michael Parks and damn it, how can I forget the name? Dan Connor and Roseanne. Goodman. John Goodman is in there.
Okay.
So really great cast, serious movie, kind of depicting a Phelps-ish family, yeah. And they took out the movie and toured it, Gone with the Wind in olden days, Didn't premiere it on opening cinemas, they actually toured it with a Q&A. And as often as the Phelps family could, they actually kind of picketed that. And in this moment, Kevin Smith didn't spoke out against it or so. He was like, you know what? It's still free press work for us. Yep. Our marketing machine.
Well, exactly. And that's the sad reality is you almost want controversy anymore for certain things. Because you could have anybody endorse something and it's okay, so what, some big celebrity or some big name endorse something. But as soon as there's that controversy, everybody wants to run out and find out why it was controversial. Or why so-and-so's picketing it.
But is it just me, or did the whole Phelps family thing anyway in the last years kind of die pretty much out or down, or at least you didn't hear any more much about it? I think people were already kind of fed up about it. I think done with it.
About the only thing you would hear from time to time is when a state would enact laws so they couldn't get away with as much as they were, or you'd have a massive anti-rally against them, like a bunch of bikers or soldiers protecting a funeral against the Phelps. But as far as the Phelps themselves doing anything, you really didn't hear a whole lot about it in the national news. Like you said, they were just tired of dealing with it, so they stopped giving effort into it. Because with our president, there was so much more to talk about than, the Phelpses. So
yeah. Yeah, I think it was basically kind of it was for a few years maybe more amusing to people, and then they got more attention. As, like you said, you fuel it with some people pay attention, and they do more stuff because they get more attention, and it just goes higher and higher. But at some point, people are just you know what, we had our loss, and, let's move on.
Well, and if he was getting sick there at the very end, and he was the major motivating factor, he may not have been giving as strong of direction as what he had in the past. I mean, that those kind of organizations, churches, what have you, are only as strong as the personality that first fuels it. It doesn't ride on its own independent of the individual. And that's what you see a lot of these startup churches and organizations or political movements or tofu movement, whatever movement you want, bowel movement. It's only as strong as the person pushing. Once that person stops pushing, if the ideals are not solid and well-founded in the morals of the society, they're going to collapse once the founding member has given up. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, definitely. I mean, like, always the strong front face makes the biggest impact and is really the big motivator. And it evolves out of that. And when you don't have that driving force anymore, of course, it's just going to die down and, like break apart, because you need this one nucleus that holds everything together and gives it a proper direction.
Well, exactly. It's the person, not the ideal. And their ideals were very shaky. You take any major religion that still exists and have existed for 5,000 years, it's the ideal that's strong, not an individual. Unfortunately, Phelps was a strong individual based on some very shaky, fuzzy foundations of his religious doctrine, and that's why it's going to collapse. It'll always be there to some degree. I think the family will try to continue it on, but it's not going to be the force that it once was, and it'll be easily ripped apart with dissension.
I think it's just going to, somewhere trickle on the side. But in the end, nobody's going to anymore see really things from them. But I tell you, you have to watch, you have Netflix, don't you?
Yes.
Watch Red State. I want till you record the next time a show that you watch Red State. And I want that you, on your show, give me that you, tell me that you watched it and what you thought. Because I think you're going to enjoy it. It's a great movie. It takes you so many weird places and with just killer performances. And just because of the Phelps family reason, you kind of have to watch it. It depicts this thing kind of relatively nice. So.
And you said that was
definitely
Red State.
Yeah, just like the color, red, and then state, like a state of,
Okay. Yep, I just want to make sure I had that. Okay. Watch and report.
It's definitely not a comedy or anything what Smith done ever. It's totally out of what he ever done, and it's amazing movie. And Michael Parks kills it in there. Okay. He basically plays in that movie the Phelps position, and oh my god, he is so creepy. I think at some point he holds a monologue from easily 7 or 10 minutes, when not longer, and it's really just a monologue. Only him talking, but you're sitting there and you're fascinated and just how creepy that is.
Huh. I will definitely have to check that out when I get a second. Right now I've got
creepy movie.
I've got a very, very full plate, so I will put that on my list to do, so it might be a few months before I get back to you with a book report. But, I'm this weekend, for example, is the Shrine International Circus here in Dickinson. And as a Shriner who wears those little fezzes.
Dickinson.
Yep. Yes, Dickinson. In the western half of North Dakota, we have the circus, and I help the organization that produces the circus. So we've got that going on this weekend. So I've got a few things on my plate, but I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Do you have a freak show there in the circus?
No, I don't think we have the freak show. I think that's politically incorrect to have anymore.
Really? Damn it. Come on, we all love us some freaks, this kind of where they are like a car crash. It's disgusting, but you can't look away.
There is actually, and I watched this on one of our TV stations here, one of the cable show stations, that there is a community in Florida where the quote-unquote freak shows have gone to retire because they're no longer hired by circuses because so many people throw a fit saying, well, you're abusing them, that's not politically correct, that's disgusting. Even though those people, they wanted to be hired for this because that's how they made their money, but since circuses won't hire them anymore because so many other people thought they were being abused, They basically went to a location in Florida and retired.
Yeah, I think the TV show Scrubs makes fun of that at one point. That they, I don't know anymore which season or so, but they were somewhere in a sunny state. Yeah, what could as might as well resemble Florida. There was a whole community of freak shows that just lived there because nobody hires them anymore. Yeah.
Yep, and that's a real location. You know, Scrubs may have made fun of it, but that is a real issue because these people could no longer find gainful employment with their physical condition, and that's what they had done for so long.
I mean, what times we are living in where you can't even anymore hire a freak or a dwarf to toss? Is dwarf tossing out also as well still incorrect?
I think so. At least here.
What is the word coming to where you can't even throw a little person?
You will be unique and independent as long as you conform to everything, like everybody else.
Yeah.
Conform to your independence.
I call bullshit on all of that. You know, it's kind of like, come on. I love me some weird midgets in TV shows. It's funny, and it's not like, and I'm not even like, oh, you know, I laugh at them in a mean way. No, it's entertaining what they're doing, and they're getting well paid for it, and they're enjoying their job. You know. I mean, we all win. I laugh. They make a decent living. Everybody fucking wins. So get, you know, your panties out of your crotch and, you know, get moving on to things that are important. Not like, oh my God, that could you know, it's all about fucking lawsuits. You Americans are fucking retarded in that point. If there's money to be made, then there's going to be a sentence. Like, don't insert this toilet brush into anus. It could lead to blah, blah, blah. Just that nobody, you know, sues them for if they stuck it up their ass.
Exactly.
Now, isn't it what happened with the washing machines that at one or in the 90s also that somebody or in the dryer that they put a pet also and the pet died and then they got millions for it because it was nowhere written that is, you know, you can't put animals in your dryer or washing machine. They're gonna die. You know what? Common knowledge, you know, just like, don't be a fucking idiot. That's
pretty much. Well, that's seriously lacking because everybody, especially here, has gotten so used to being told what they can and can't do and when they can and can't do it, though we're a free country, that if somebody doesn't tell them they can't do something and they do it and get hurt, well, obviously it's the other person's fault for not telling them that they shouldn't have done it. You know, it's, you know, let's say, for example, you know, I have a sidewalk out in front of my house and it snows and it's icy. Even though it's a public sidewalk, the city puts the sidewalk in. I can't touch the sidewalk. I can't fix it. I can't change it unless, you know, the city has to do that. Make all changes to that sidewalk or okay all changes. But if they have to fix the sidewalk, I have to pay for it. But they have to okay the fixes to begin with and tell me when it needs to be fixed. But if somebody slips on that sidewalk, I'm the one who gets sued because I did not keep the snow off of the sidewalk the city controls, owns, and tells me how to maintain.
Okay, because like in Germany it's as well, so that you, I don't know how it's here in Finland, but in Germany you are responsible for in front of your, even if you're living in an apartment building.
Yep.
You know, whoever has that week to turn has to make it ice free. Okay, but they don't tell us how or so.
Yeah, it's
at least that's started.
Pretty much. So it's, I don't know, but they encourage you to be a free, unique, independent person as long as you conform to all their rules.
Yeah, of course. But I had a question. What is like the average traffic fine for, let's say, being 25 miles per hour over the speed limit?
Oh, that's a good. It's by jurisdiction. Some states are more expensive than others. Hold on, average.
Wait, I'm just trying to find it. Okay, let's say the speed limit is 47 miles per hour. It's a bit odd because we're dealing here with kilometers per hour, but I have found it also with the miles per hour. So the speed limit was 47 miles per hour. No, wait, it was 31 miles per hour, the speed limit, and he drove 47.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right, hold on. You'll have to repeat what you said. Okay, speeding ticket. This is California. Speeding ticket cost for going 16 to 25 miles per hour over the limit on average is $250. That's
Okay, but it's a fixed rate kind of thing from state to state.
in California, yeah. And then you lose a lot of points on your license. You're only allowed 12 points. You have 12 points on your license. Once you lose all 12 points, your license is revoked. You know,
that we have in Germany as well, at least. I think most parts of Europe have it as well. And then you have to make the idiot test and have to make courses, and yeah.
Pretty much. So it'd be 181 euros.
Okay, can I tell you a funny thing? Like in Finland, traffic fines are calculated as a percentage of the offender's most recently reported income.
What?
Yeah, and here comes the best part. Yeah, in January, I actually just gonna read the article because it describes it the best. Yeah, in January 2002, Anssi Vanjoki, 44 years, a director of the Finnish telecommunication giant Nokia, received what was believed the most expensive speeding ticket ever, $12.5 million for driving his Harley. You know, like the pre-mentioned, you know, like 20 kilometers per hour, miles per hour over the speed limit. 12.5 million.
Wow. So
Okay,
what is the percentage that they base it off of? I mean, is it like a 1%, 12%?
I don't know the actual percentage because I literally found that kind of like an hour ago, you know, so I didn't have time yet to look further into it. But he appeared because I guess he lost his job or got to a lower position because he appeared to fine because his reported income dropped significantly about 5 days after the incident. But still, after that, the fine was still $103,600.
That is insane. You know, here you would never, ever be allowed to get away with that because of privacy issues.
Why the fuck privacy? If you have the money and you think you can be a dick only because you have money, you should be, you know, have to pay for your crap. I think it makes sense.
Welcome to the foundation of America.
I like a little dick like them, Justin Bieber, that little cunt, you know?
Yeah, he should be shipped off to Canada. Make them deal with him, because they'll be nice about it.
They don't want them either, so.
Yeah. They were happy to see him go. But no, I mean, if it's a percentage based off of income, and they publish the amount your fine was, that would be then a privacy violation, because somebody could figure out what your income is, and here income is protected information. A lot of places you can be fired for asking somebody else how much they make because it's considered private. You know, your social security number, your medical records, and how much you make is private information to a degree. Like public figures, like politicians, their base income is reported. But now, let's say, you know, the president makes $350,000 in a year. You don't get to know what his interest income or his book deal income, any of that is. You just get to know what America pays him for being our president.
Yeah, just what he gets for his official position, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that thing only kind of dropped into the media because it was such a outrageous kind of thing that I bet it somehow actually only leaked, you know, somebody saw on paper.
Right. But let's say, let's take like child support. You know, if somebody, you know, let's say gets their child support set in 2010, and in 2011 they get a new job where they're making 5 times as much, and they can't get his child support renewed until 2012, but the amount of his fine gets published in 2011, the ex-mother or ex-wife now knows, or even for alimony, let's not say child support, let's just say alimony, now knows how much he's making and can take him back to court early for more money, and therefore it becomes a privacy issue.
I mean, Pete, guys over there, seriously, I don't even fucking know what to say. It's just kind of like, I don't even thought of any like this fucking corn.
Raphael, the fact that you don't know what to say offends me, so I'm going to sue you.
No. Oh my God. All right, I'm poor. It's okay. There's nothing to get.
I'm so poor. When you sue me, you'll have to give me money when you win. What?
Yeah.
No,
You know what? I have to raise money to be broke.
I'm sorry. We'll try to. Okay, everybody listening, Raphael needs a podcast sponsor. If you want to continue enjoying and listening to the "We Are Not Here to Please You" podcast, sometimes, he joins you on the No BS podcast. You should really consider sponsoring Raphael and R2. I mean, for goodness sakes, R2 has mounting medical bills due to some horrible illness that we can't even begin to mention, mostly because we're not doctors and have no idea what it is. But the horrible medical condition he is now facing, with untold dozens of dollars in medical supplies that are necessary for him to recover and bring you another edition of the We Are Not Here to Please You, you should really reach out and donate and help sponsor this podcast.
We actually have a donate PayPal button on our page.
There you go. Okay, see there. I'm trying to help you out here. Yeah. Don't tell anybody I'm trying to help you out here, but that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, there's not going to be thousands of dollars of medical bills because, we are pretty much good covered in here. We have, we have to pay a part, but not too big.
Shh.
I mean, it's horrible, the high bills, and oh my God, and I just hear that he has to sell maybe his kidney and other organs. Do we have any other organs that we have doubles? No.
The liver regenerates. He can sell part of his liver.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess the liver is kind of the doctor of the body.
Yeah. He doesn't eat all his toes, does he, technically? He could sell a toe or two. Does he do a lot of walking?
I guess that's really important for balance, though.
The big toe, but he could sell a small toe. If he sell two small toes, they could sew that together for one big toe and give that to somebody else for better balance.
How much do you get for that? I'm considering here.
I don't know. How much? Let me Google that, because everything is always right on the internet.
Hey, there's nothing that is not on the internet. I mean, you can write the most horrendous thing. And just, by the way, it's recommended to do the horrendous searches on picture search and with save off. It's amazing what you can see. I spent hours on the internet just looking up fucked up stuff when I was bored. How it is, you Google something, you stumble over gay porn, then it's the worst half hour of your life.
I'm going to ignore you said that and continue searching. Okay, here we go. Where's this at? Okay.
Okay.
I found something. I want to say this is probably based out of the United States, but I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what... Okay, if you were ever curious about how much your body parts can fetch on the black market, blah, 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 created a snazzy infographic to help you out. Okay. Pair of eyeballs. This is a pair.
Yeah.
$1,525.
That's not even much.
A scalp is $607. Skull with teeth is $1,200. So if you used to know somebody who doesn't need it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we all know people, they're like, I have this skull, my skull and my teeth, and I don't really use it, so you can have it. I know it happens to me all the time.
Well, exactly. I saw a guy just at Kmart the other day who didn't need one. Okay, a shoulder's worth $500. A coronary artery's worth $1,525. Oh, here's your big money. Ready?
Okay.
A heart,
yeah.
$119,000.
That doesn't sound even that much.
Wow.
I mean, for fuck's sake, it's a half.
That's tenth of $1,000,000. Okay, a liver, $157,000. Yeah. A hand and forearm, a combination, hand and forearm combination is $385. Yeah, that's not a whole lot.
Hey, that's actually affordable. You could plant a third arm on your chest. That's fucking awesome.
Okay, a pint of blood. Oh my gosh. We give it away free here, but a pint of blood on the black market is $337.
Okay. That's actually...
And you can replenish that every couple of months. Okay, I just want to state we in no way support the black market of body parts. This is purely for entertainment value only.
Stop being politically correct. It's their phone number.
This is the save your ass comment. Okay. A spleen is 500. A stomach is 500. A small intestine is 200, about 2,500. Ooh, a kidney? $262,000. So that's $250,000 for a kidney.
Okay, but I short gonna break that one again. What I wrote to you, the fact, one fact that you gonna use on your show as well, but I gonna now short still have to tell you that again. I mean, it's still amazing that because we're now international calling, so I have to bring this up. So it's like this about how they determine how you're dead. In America, it's when your heart stops. In Germany, it's when your brain stops. And let's be honest, people like Justin Bieber would have been declared dead years ago.
Exactly. I think that's why they had to go that route, is because they had some clarification.
Hey, otherwise, there would be no C-list celebrity entertainment-based programming.
Exactly.
And all the stations needed the money, and money rules. That's why it's a different way there. But you have to use that in the No BS podcast at nobspodcast.com. And I want to hear really Brandon's reaction to that. I think he's going to enjoy that one.
I will definitely do that. And I will reference the we are not here to please you.blogspot.fi for the actual question in your show notes.
Definitely. And by the way, what is it with the Hawaiian cops? I don't know if you heard about it, and I haven't catched up because I think today or yesterday they make the decision on that. Apparently Hawaiian cops like to fuck hookers.
So what now?
Okay, so far in Hawaii, the cops were allowed to have sex with hookers. For investigative reasons, of course. To get to the people behind the,
as part of their undercover work?
Yeah. And they wanted to ban it, and now the cops since were fucking pissed off and petitioned against it and stuff. They want to keep fucking hookers.
This was from 2 days ago.
Yeah. Because I think they had the hearing like yesterday or something.
I don't have any updated information.
Hey, as good reporters as we are, we don't really haven't followed up.
We are waiting for our sources to get back to us.
Yeah, it's our fault. It's the sources.
And other excuses. Yeah, okay, well, if I hear anything, I'll let you know. I'll tweet it to you.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, when Deep Throat gets back to you, we all like some Deep Throat, so...
Exactly. Just for reference, if I wanted to tweet that back to you, where should I tweet that at?
Definitely I always have to look at it. It's at Twitter, it's at WANHTPY.
Okay, and that'll be tweeted from the at No BS podcast. Because some of us choose better or easier podcast names to remember than others.
Hey, if I would have put we are not here to please you, then people can only tweet to us like 5 characters, Because our name already takes the whole fucking message away, let's be honest. That's the only reason why we went for the shortened version, because it makes really a huge difference. That's also why our SoundCloud and our, I think, iTunes one is also just our initials, because our names were just too long. They didn't allow us long names like that. Fucking discriminators. I'm gonna sue them. I should fucking sue them.
You should. You should. And if you lived here, you could, because they're discriminating against you.
Few minutes talking with American, I want to sue people. That's what it does.
we have that effect on you.
No, I'm not that easy influence. I think I'm most likely just on the, shit on the lawn or, masturbate against the window or, just little things. What you do to vent.
And more power to you. Don't take pictures. Just tell me in writing how that turned out for you when you're done. Because, yeah.
Okay, video. I got it. Video. Totally understood you there.
We are not here to video you. Hey, that would be a cool podcast or a YouTube channel for you. We are not here to video you. Video.
Yeah, but it's really hard to say. And you know that we usually like to have 1 or 2 beers while we are doing that stuff, before we're doing that stuff. And that could get rather difficult at some point.
You know, that may be what I should have done. Of course, I literally came home from church and set up the podcast equipment and called you. So maybe having a few beers would not have been a good thing. But, yeah.
I have my beer while we are recording here.
But
because
it's like 10 o'clock at night for you.
Yeah, definitely. And I still it was so weird because I kind of trying to keep myself in my head, like, stay in entertainment mode. Because you kind of think, like, you know, it's evening, so you kind of get in the relaxed mode. I watch a TV show, you know, go to bed. But it's kind of like, okay, no, we're still recording. You know, you kind of still need a bit motivation, kind of, you know, get in the zone.
You know, what's funny is you're already, you know, talking about having to stay in the zone for recording, and it's like almost 10 o'clock your time. Brandon and I at the No BS podcast barely get started by 10 o'clock at night.
Well, we are usually, like, you know, meeting up like at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon and start recording like at 6, 7. So we take our sweet time before we start usually. But we kind of set it on purpose earlier. So, like, if we really have more procrastination going on or so, you know, that we have enough time and so on.
You know, and that would be fantastic, but you don't have kids.
Yes, that's correct, and that's good.
You have bunnies, though, and I've seen the bunnies.
Yeah, and one is staring right now at me, actually.
He wants something.
What you looking at, dude? He's chewing, and I have no fucking idea what. I don't trust you, dude.
I am chewing your soul.
Yeah. And I don't know if you ever saw it, but actually, like, that was a rescue bunny, and he has, like, this number and letter code in his ear tattooed because of being a rescue from the animal shelter. And I have that tattooed, actually, on my arm. And actually the same fashion as it is in the weird dots.
Aww.
What I like. Okay, I think you have a vagina. Because that's literally the noise what usually only girls say when I say that story.
Well, here's the thing, though. I've got 5 kids.
Yeah.
I'm 40, and due to sales positions, I've had to learn to emulate the emotional context in which people are telling me stories in order to get them on the same page. So therefore, I can turn around and using the empathy I now feel for them, or they assume I feel for them, to get them to be comfortable and confident with what I'm about to tell them, such as that they need to make donations to your podcast.
Yeah, so you weaponized it, basically.
No. As an American, I would never weaponize anything.
Stop saving your ass.
I've made it through almost 40 years of life doing this. I plan to make it through at least another 50.
Yeah. No, but seriously, I'm not kidding. If I tell that story, every female person goes like, "Oh, well, if I wouldn't be in a relationship, I bet I could get laid."
See? Well, so you have a purpose for telling it, knowing you're going to get that kind of reaction.
Yeah.
Now, if I was sitting at the bar with a bunch of guys, I wouldn't have that same reaction. But not knowing the demographics of your listenership, I'm going to go, "Aw." So that way, I seem like the emotional, caring one versus the cold-hearted, tattooed, bunny-owning Finnish guy from Germany. Just saying.
Well, you just want to play the safest road that people like you. Let's be honest. You just want to be liked.
Hey, you've heard how my country operates. You have to be liked or you get your butt sued.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to be heard, you know. I just want to have fun doing it. And definitely, like, backtracking short to the calling into this morning show, it definitely improved our numbers. Actually, quite a bit. I think, actually, now we are easily, like, I would say, like, 30% more.
That is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, like, most of them going now back to the old episodes.
Well, that's the way it should be. Because they have to realize your awesomeness. and accept you for the awesomeness that you are.
Hey, you're too kind, sir, for these nice words, definitely. Okay, but I still gonna have to drop you with one trivia fact, because we are also, as well, like you guys, informational podcast, yeah? So
Yep.
we like to inform people and give little trivia. Like, you know why buttons for girls and boys' clothes on different sides?
Why is that?
Wait, let me actually post that here back up, because I'm moving whole time through the windows, only that I don't fuck up the fact. Because it used to be, apparently in olden times, that men dressed themselves, while women were dressed by servants. Since most people are right-handed, it was deemed easier to use the button on the other side.
Damn, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go back to that. So, were the people who did not have enough money for a servant, did they just not use buttons either, or did peasant women's buttons were like the man's buttons?
Well, I guess women's buttons never got much attention in the old day anyway. If you get innuendo.
Yeah.
No, but okay, there are many theories. Of course, it's not proven in that thing, because this is dating so far back, but it makes somehow way too much sense for some reason. And like, let's be honest, we all love kind of facts if they are true or not, yeah? But if they are making way too much sense, it's always fascinating.
So now I'm going to have to take this and listen and give this to Brandon as well and see
what he comes up with.
Yep, it'll be our research project. We'll get grants. There'll be presentations. Somebody will have a PowerPoint. We'll have to rent a hall. There'll be catering involved. Women's buttons throughout history.
Okay, but I get flown in, huh?
Yeah, well, that's part of the grant money, was we need to fly your butt in.
Yeah, definitely, but, first class, I'm not... It's fucking far away. I want service, I want room,
So by first class, you mean not like on a cargo plane, then?
No, I need where I can stretch out and scratch my board.
What do you think of boats?
That sounds kind of like really a long damn trip, actually, to go over there.
Okay, so we have to have enough in the grant to fly you over. Okay.
Yeah. I think we can manage that. I mean, it's, for fuck's sake, it's buttons. If you can't spend money on buttons, on what then?
Well, just remember, it doesn't matter how poor you are, you can always afford good toilet paper.
Hey, that's damn fucking important.
But, all right.
Come on.
Raphael, I hate to break the news to you, but I do need to get going. This has been a blast.
Yeah. We actually went already way quite long, to be honest, yeah.
Well,
actually, I totally forgot the time. I actually know it's the first time I'm looking. We actually kind of hit easy. Yeah, on 45, 50 minutes mark already.
Well, you do realize that the No BS podcast is a half-hour-long podcast, right?
Is it?
Well, we average an hour to an hour and a half, but we want it to be a half-hour long for this exact same reason. We always shoot for the half-hour mark, but we never quite make it. So.
Yeah. Well, but I have to say, sir, thank you for sitting in. I had a blast. It was great, and I'm just thankful that you sat in, and I had quite a few laughs. So, and people, check out the No BS podcast at nobspodcast.com, and there you find all your needs, and support these guys and show them some love.
Well, we support our brotherly podcast or sister podcast, however you want to do the nomenclature, over at wearenotheretoPleaseYou.blogspot.fi.
Thank you, sir. And we wish you a good day, night, whatever daytime it is, and we hear us next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Contact info is as follows. You can find us on Twitter at WANHTPY, and under that you can find us on iTunes as well.
And you find us as well on Stitcher under our complete name, We Are Not Here to Please You, and under the same name we are as well on Facebook.
Yeah. And our email is wearenothertopleaseyou@gmail.com.
For any suggestions, ideas, submissions.
Yeah.
And all the previously mentioned things you can find on wearenothertopleaseyou.blogspot.fi, our headquarter, our watchtower.
I'm Nolan Overton.
I'm Brandon Stedham.
And we're the No BS Podcast,
where you can come listen to our comedic, informational, entertainment podcasts.
Every week on iTunes. Or
and
our website at...
We do have a website?
Yes.
www.nobspodcast.com.
Thanks, and I hope you'll join us. Ciao.
The Flash Pulp Podcast. 3 to 10 minutes of fiction brought to you thrice weekly. Now it's three apocalypses in one! Yeah! Suffering from tough, stuck-on humans? Well, 20 hellish hours of suffocation in the all-encompassing web of Karwik the Spider God will get them right out. Too many brains lying around? The ravenous mouths surrounding zombie-fighting Ruby will quickly clean those up. Nosy neighbors? Infect them with the murder plague, and watch as they dissolve into paranoid maniacs bent on the preemptive assassination of their friends and family. Why stop at one end of the world when you can have all three? You can find them all at flashpulp.com or search for them on iTunes.